There are several studies of the impact of cell phone radiation on children. Here are some of the conclusions so far. A 2010 study of cell phone radiation noted that, in general, and on average, children suffer a higher exposure of their brain regions than adults. This is because children have proportionally smaller heads and brains, yet receive the same levels of cell phone radiation as adults. The American Academy of Pediatrics agrees, saying that when used by children, the average RF energy deposition is 2 times higher in the brain and 10 times higher in the bone marrow of the skull, compared with mobile phone use by adults. Another study found that people who begin using cell phones and cordless landline phones before the age of 20 are at an even higher risk of developing brain tumors than people who begin using these wireless phones as adults. This is because of the closer proximity of the source of radiation to the brain of kids. They have thinner tissues and bones than adults. Research also suggests that cell phone exposure could affect children's behavior. The children in the study who were hyperactive or had emotional or behavioral problems, including trouble getting along with other kids, were much more likely to have mothers who used cell phones during pregnancy. After accounting for other factors that could affect behavior, the children of these mothers were 80% more likely to have behavioral problems than children whose mothers rarely or didn't use cell phones. However, this is difficult to study because mothers who use cell phones frequently during pregnancy or after the baby is born may pay less attention to their children, resulting in the children's bad behavior. More research is needed to understand the link between mothers' cell phone use and children's behavior. Children that used cell phones more were more likely to have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Although the link to attention deficit hyperactivity disorder was only for children who also had high levels of lead in their blood, when researchers adjusted for blood lead level, they still found that ADHD was more likely for children who made more phone calls and spent a longer amount of time on the phone. This study was conducted in Korea, so it would be important to do similar research on children living in other countries. A 2014 article reviewing studies on children and their cell phone use found that the younger the child, the greater the risk of brain cancer and brain tumors. The same article also points to studies concluding that cell phones are associated with an increased risk of breast cancer, due to adolescents putting cell phones in their bras, parotid, salivary gland tumors, and sperm damage for adolescents and adults.